People of Earth, this is the Great Goonan Podcast. I am the Great Goonan, and I am here with Mr. Mike Keegan, pal of mine, fellow Irishman and comedian. How are you, Mike?
Hey, how are you? The Great Goonan. Thanks for having me, buddy. I missed you.
Yeah, well, you know, it's always good to get two Irish guys together. I got my Irish credentials, my 3 essential Irish credentials. First, I'm wearing green. Secondly, I think about 8 times today I use the expression, yo, bro. And look in my pocket, a potato.
Why wouldn't we all have potatoes in our pocket?
Yeah, and this one has a butt, so it's
Nice. That's extra special.
Yeah.
I decided to wear green as well. It's a green shirt. It's just holding its breath.
Okay, I'll go along with that.
Yeah.
I always like how the Irish they don't mind making fun of themselves. Like you could call Irish people disgusting drunks, and they're like, yeah,
Exactly. We are. That's it. Yeah. Pass me a Guinness.
Like I love Irish music. I love Irish songs, the traditional Irish songs. They're beautiful songs, but some of them are full of ethnic slurs that I love. Like there's a great old Irish tune that is called, I don't know, you might have heard of it, called Who Threw the Overalls in Mrs. Murphy's Chowder. Have you ever heard that song?
I've never heard that one.
It goes like this. I'm going to do it really quick. Who threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder? Nobody spoke, so they shouted all the louder. It's an Irish trick that's true. I can lick the mick that threw the overalls in Mrs. Murphy's chowder. Now, every time I've sung that song to a non-Irish person, they go, oh, hey, you said mick. That's not
said
right.
Mick.
But when I sing it to an Irish person, they go, yeah, we would have mixed who threw that in the chowder.
Absolutely.
I have 3 favorite Irish jokes, the old-time Irish jokes that I always love. And one of them is Daniel's walking down the street, and he sees Patty, and he stops Patty, and he says to Patty, what's the quickest way to Dublin? And Patty says to Daniel, are you going by foot or by car? He goes, I'm going by car. He goes, that's the fastest way. And he walks away. And one of my other ones is there's a guy, an Irish dude in a pub, and he's drinking really fast. And the bartender says, what are you drinking so fast for? He goes, you drink fast like me too if you had what I had. He goes, what do you have? He goes, 50 cents. And
it was a great...
One of my favorites, my absolute favorite one is a woman's grieving, and she goes to church, and she goes, oh, Father. And he goes, what's the matter, Mrs. Milligan? Oh, Father, my husband died last night. My husband died. Oh, my goodness. Did he have any last requests? Yes, he told me, Mary, put the gun down. So, I mean, I love those. Those are my favorite old Irish jokes. Do you have any Irish jokes?
You know what? Oh, I can't find it here, of course. Yeah, we could. Hey now.
Oh, I dropped my potato. I love that green shirt of yours. It's really nice.
Thank you very much. I did it especially for the show.
Thank you.
And yeah, it's very, very green.
Nice.
It's actually the inside of it is green, but I like to keep that close.
Not ripe yet. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's not ripe. The shirt's just not ripe yet.
I got you. So, dude, man, you're getting ready to do shows again.
We are starting. We're starting to get phone calls. We're starting to book some shows. I know April 2nd, the clubs in New York are going to start opening up, and we're already starting to book some stuff in that little room at Governor's. And we have a show. April 2nd is going to be our first show back. We're doing it, me, Tim, and Carla from our podcast. We're doing it at the Long Island Brewery out in Riverhead. And so we just booked that last week, and it's starting to open up again.
Do you guys ever fight over who opens and who middles and who headlines?
You know, not really. Usually I close out of the 3 of us. Usually I'll close the shows. Carla loves hosting, and she's a phenomenal host. She's good at engaging the audience, so she always falls right into the hosting spot. You know, Tim will always get the middle spot kind of, and then I'll usually close it out. And
that's for people who are tuning in here. This is Mike is talking about Tim Celiani and Carla Okerson, who are also co-hosts of his podcast, the Domestic Disturbance Podcast, which I have been on many times and caused much controversy. And also, these are also two very talented comedians as well. I actually know you probably through Tim, because Tim and I were on a game show together. We were judges on a game show together, and that's kind of how I got to know you guys. And Tim is like this big mountain of a man, and I am sort of a little molehill of a man. So it is like walking down the street, we look like a decimal number, you know. So that's always great.
Yeah, I had always watched you from afar. I was aware of you because, like I said, I always loved watching your videos that you would post. But I hadn't met you until Tim was with you in the game show, and then we had you on the podcast, and then it's been kismet ever since.
It's been very controversial. You said kismet, right?
Every time you come on the show, a war starts.
You said kismet, not Kermit, right?
No, it said Kermit. There he is. He's great.
Can you say copyright infringement? Okay, get down. That's enough. All right. Anyway,
what's he doing down there?
He's earning his keep. I can't tell you. Disney banned all the dirty things that he does. Apparently Kermit does dirty things.
Yeah, he fucks pigs.
Yeah. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Now you know he's not a Muslim because he eats pork. So, in all seriousness, I have a potato in my pocket. Okay. So
that's Irish identification card.
That's right. That's right. When you go to Ireland, if you don't have a passport, you just go, hey. And they go, oh, all right, get going, go on.
They'll kick you right out of the union. It's not, yeah.
What part of Ireland did you go to when you visited?
I was in Dublin. It was a bunch of my friends. We all got together. We did 3 days in Amsterdam, 3 days in London, and then 3 days in Dublin. We were there for St. Patrick's Day, which was awesome. It was all my friends were big pot smokers. I don't smoke pot. I'm a drinker. So they all got their fun in Amsterdam while I sat in the back and drank, and then we went to Dublin. I'm like, this is my city. This is my town. And I found a favorite bar. I was there all day and night, every day. If anybody was looking for me, that's where I was. It's called Oliver St. John Gogarty's. It's the best bar I've ever been to. In the bottom floor of it is like kind of like a Mulcahy's kind of place. Like they play like American music and it's people just drinking. The middle floor is like where they have all the Irish folk music and the wooden tables and then the top floor is kind of like a rooftop lounge. So it's the coolest place in the world. And
I hear that going to Ireland, the greatest part of it is really the people. The people are awesome just to sit and talk to you.
The people were great. Everyone was so cool, especially when they found I had family from Ireland and everything, and they're very welcoming. But there was one guy. I was at a bar one night, and me and this guy were both drunk, and I was telling him, "Yeah, I have family. My family's from Galway and County Mayo," and he goes, "What? Are you here to claim land?" And he's tried to start a fight with me because he thought I was there to claim my land and take his land away, and we almost came to fisticuffs. Because he thought I came back to the motherland to claim my family's dowry.
Wow. Yeah, I've heard that's true. I've heard a lot of times, I know people who visited Ireland and visited relatives that they had never met, but they knew they had in Ireland. And a lot of times the relatives live humbly, but they're not poor. Like they just look like they're living in a humble way, but they don't. They have land and they just live modest.
Yeah, exactly. And like the most prestigious job there is bartender. The bartenders are a union. I went to my hotel and there was a bartender there. That night I go to a nightclub and he's the bartender there. He's like, yeah, it's just a union. They put us at a different place every day. So it's like the biggest union in Ireland and it's like the most prestigious job.
Wow. That sounds like a joke.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like priest and bartender. Those are the big jobs.
My brother's a lawyer. He's the black sheep of the family.
Yeah, right. Do you know the meaning of your name? Because I found out the meaning of Goonan. Do you know the meaning of Keegan?
I do. It's son of fire.
Really? That's an awesome name. Really?
Pretty cool, right? Yeah.
Wow. That makes mine sound dumb.
What is Goonan?
Huh? Enormous penis? No, it doesn't mean enormous penis. It means it means calf. It means calf keeper, like a shepherd.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, but no fire.
All right.
No, the fire is better than shepherd.
Pretty badass. But
I have the Prime Minister of Ireland right here, right now. Hello, no, and you know that like corned beef is not really Irish. Do you know that it's Jewish?
no, I found that out when I was in Dublin. I was there on St. Patrick's Day. I'm like, I'm having a shit ton of corn. I couldn't find a corned beef fucking anywhere in Ireland.
Because they eat ham.
Yeah, it was ham and potatoes. That's what we
Right.
had. Yeah.
Because what happened was in to give history. This is an educational episode. That
Look at this.
in I think it's when the Irish came to New York, living in the poor tenements next to the Jews. Ham was too expensive, so the Jews said, "We have another thing you can make that'll be good too," and they taught them how to make corned beef. So that's really like an Irish American thing, I guess.
Because it's more expensive, and the Jews were trying to sell them the more expensive meat, I think.
Well, the Jews can't eat ham, so they figured everyone's got to suffer.
Exactly.
Right.
Wow, I didn't know that, but I did find out when I was in Ireland that it's not corned beef over there. I was very disappointed, and the waiter fucking laughed at me because I asked for corned beef.
If you had to have a leprechaun, and leprechauns, are this myth. They grant wishes. They also appear on cereal boxes, and apparently they go to the hood and they fight black people because they can't get their gold back. I never realized that until those movies came out. But
a leprechaun.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought I couldn't see like a leprechaun hanging around a black neighborhood. I could see a leprechaun hanging around a Puerto Rican neighborhood because the only difference between an Irishman and a Puerto Rican are 2 DWIs and some tires in the backyard, But apparently they hang out in the hood. But if a leprechaun would grant you 3 wishes. Mm-hmm. What would you make the 3 wishes? Let's do one at a time, both of us. You give me your first wish. What would your first wish be? If you had to think about it for real.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would
a green shirt, maybe? No.
I would wish for a green shirt.
No.
I would wish for the health and happiness of my friends and family.
Okay, that's your first wish.
Yeah.
My first wish would be a really good knish, like a really with mustard,
Back to the Jews again. The Irishman got to go back to the Jews to get a good knish.
Being as Irish as I am, I know I'm going to need legal representation one day, so I'm always good to the Jews. But okay, so what would your second wish be?
Vagina for a day.
To be one?
No, to have one. Maybe to be one. You know what? I didn't even think of it that way.
Not in the summer, though.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's your second wish. My second wish would be, what'd you say?
I'd like to have a vagina for a day. I wouldn't want to be a vagina for a day.
So to be a woman?
I wouldn't want to be a woman. I would like to be a man with a vagina.
Okay. Got to do things the hard way, I guess. All right. And what would you? Wait a minute. I can't let that go for a second. What would you do if you were a man with a? You mean a man whose genitals were female instead of male?
Yes. Yep.
And what would you just do? Finger yourself all day?
No, I'd do that, but I'd go to like a bar and like pick up guys and have them have sex with me, and then tell them that that I'm a man.
Oh, you want to ruin their day?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I also want to feel what it feels like to have a man inside of me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you hear this? Okay. Well, that makes my second wish really shitty. I was going to wish for some cream soda to go with the knish. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. But yours is pretty good. What would your third and final wish be?
Third and final wish would probably be a mashed potato bar.
A bar that just serves mashed potatoes?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they have different condiments for it.
Right. You can put whatever you want on it.
And it's complimentary.
Oh, so it's free also. It's a free bar. Okay, that's pretty awesome. Okay, and my third wish would be, since I already have the condition, I already have the cream soda, napkins.
Hey, you can make that happen. There's a hot dog truck right by my house.
I don't want to get up. I want it right now, so I want to use my wishes.
I was gonna say you don't need a leprechaun.
No, I don't want to get up. I don't want to pay for it. Nope.
All right. Well, because Arnie over in the Home Depot parking lot, he'll take care of you.
Well, I hate to tell you, nowadays you just have to have good medical insurance, and you could take care of most of your wishes too. I mean, you could get that vagina if you want, and then you could be on the cover of Wheaties or whatever the fuck. And then if anybody says anything bad about you, you could call them a Nazi bastard. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's good.
I like it.
So we have established that you would like to know what it's like to have a man inside you.
Yeah, but from the front, not the back.
Right. You don't want to, right.
Technically, I could have a man inside of me right now, but I want to feel like all the clitoral nerve endings and.
Yeah, you want to feel the clitoral nerve endings.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, the clitoral nerve endings. Jesus Christ! All right, okay, sure. Ladies and gentlemen, today's show is brought to you by the clitoral nerve endings. All right. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, what is? Have you discussed this with Carla? You and Carla are together. You and Carla are a couple.
We are together. She'll find out. She'll find out when she listens.
She'll find out when she sees this that you wanted to know what it's like to have a man inside you, but only if you had clitoral nerve endings.
That's true.
Right.
You know what? You could also put a clit in my butt. That might be the same.
Sure. Well, now you need like 5 or 6 wishes. You're gonna. Could you imagine what that leprechaun's gonna do? Are you sure? Don't you just want some napkins like the other fella and some knishes? You sure all you want is a clit in your ass? Okay.
Because I don't need to. You know what? I don't need to have the vagina if I have a clit in my ass, and I can still have a penis and a clit at the same time.
Yeah, that's what Mark Twain always said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Great. Wow. All right. Okay. You see what happens when 2 Irishmen get together? Homoeroticism.
I've been drinking all day. There we go.
All right. So she's going to find out. How long you guys been together, by the way, you and Carla?
A little over 3 years. It was 3 years this past October.
Oh, that long? I didn't know it was that long.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you guys.
She's a good kid.
She's a good kid, huh? But you guys argue over the politics. You two different.
Oh, it's very different politically. Yes. She leans towards the left, and I love my country.
She's the Rachel Maddow to your Lou Dobbs.
True. That's true. She's the she's the James Carville to my Mary Matlin.
She's the prick to your clitoral ending.
Well, I've called her that many times.
I imagine. Well, you guys know each other well enough to do that. But
last fight, the clit to my clitoral ending.
This is the it's like a compliment. This is the clitoral end. Wow. So this is just the clitoral end. I'm gonna say that from now on when I'm happy about something. This is just
the end of the credit scene in a Marvel movie. Like, this is the end, but this is the clitoral end.
This is the clitoral end. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like, are we at the pier? No, that's not what you smell. This is the clitoral ending. So,
oh man. Yeah. Oh boy. Ooh.
Well, I mean, if you put a clit, if you have a vagina where your ass is, either way, that's going to be a smelly area.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's true.
You know.
You gotta wipe like back to front and right to left, I think.
Are you gonna do any material about the pandemic?
Yeah, I have some material that I wrote about COVID, because I mean it's ridiculous. You're a leper afterwards, and everyone wants to know what happened. I'm like, I don't even know. Some fucking Chinaman ate a bat, and now I have to wear a mask to buy socks at Walmart. And it's it's.
By the way, you could say Irishman and no one cares, but somehow saying Chinaman is a bad.
I know.
Why is that a bad word?
With that, I think it's adorable.
It is kind of cute.
when you call them Chinaman, that's adorable.
I love the old movies where they use that in an expression, like somebody, like their plane crash, it goes, he didn't have a Chinaman's chance.
Chinaman's favorite.
I love that. I love that. He didn't have a
love
Chinaman's chance.
I'm bringing that back, yeah.
Yeah, you got to bring back. That's what we have to do for 2021. We're bringing back Chinaman's chance.
Chinaman's chance. That's my contribution post-pandemic.
And if you're lucky next year, Wang Doodle. I'm going to bring that one. That's the cheese doodles they sell in China. Yeah.
I want to open up a bar called Chinaman's Chance.
That would be great. That would be great. And your big drink would be the Wang Doodle.
There we go. See, we're on to something now.
I think we're entrepreneurs, really, and we have a silent partner, but that's it, Yeah.
He's the brains behind the operation.
Look, here's his literal ending.
Or someone will ask me, Mike, what are the odds that you got COVID? I said, well, I had a Chinaman's chance.
Yeah, I had a Chinaman's chance. Yeah.
Name of this episode isn't Chinaman's Chance. You're missing your mark.
I think this might have to be called The Luck of the Chinamans. Yeah. Aaron Gobralis. No. So, wow. So you and Carl have been together for 3 years.
Yeah.
Now, you met at a comedy club?
We did. We met, there was a roast battle at a place called Revolution here on Long Island. And Carlo was doing a guest spot on the show, and I was one of the roast battlers, and that's where we met. But we didn't talk or anything, and then we started like chatting a little bit on Facebook, and then I was booking a comedy show for a fundraiser, and I had not seen Carla's comedy yet, so I didn't know whether she was funny or not. But I'm like, she's kind of cute. I kind of want to nail this chick. And so I booked her on the show. Luckily, she was funny. She was very funny, and then we hung out for like a year or so before we ever like started dating. We just like hung out as friends because I'm terrible at reading signals.
Is that what she said? Like she was trying to get you to make a move?
I don't know. She doesn't. I don't know.
Forever.
A terrible communicator. I think it's her fault.
It wouldn't have been awful if you didn't think she was funny, because then you have to pretend.
I know, and it was a fundraiser for some girl with like a brain tumor, and if she wasn't funny, I'd have to. Yeah, exactly. That's probably the hardest thing about being in a relationship with another comic. If you don't think they're funny, you can't respect them, and thank God she is. Right.
So how'd you start that tumor show? Did you say, I lost my mind, waka waka? But I'm sorry. No. He made me do it. So
many fun like that where it's like a kid that's dying or a kid that died, and then the parents get up and they tell this big emotional story about the kid and how they died, and it's like, here's comedy by Mike Keegan now.
Right. It's like, and he'll never be the same again. And now the comedy stylings of. Right.
I did that one time. I was doing a show, and it was here at the Milleridge Inn in wherever it is. I don't give a shit. It was so it was the parents of this girl that had passed away, and it's a scholarship foundation they have. So they tell this heart-wrenching story about this girl, and then they bring me up to do comedy. But as I'm doing comedy, there's a giant picture of the dead girl right next to me, and I'm like, how are people gonna laugh? Like, I'm not even funny.
Now, I know that you obviously have sympathy for whatever that charity or whatever that event is about, but doesn't the comic inside you wish you could turn to the picture and stop messing with it? It's like, shut up! I'm trying to do something here. Me.
It's like impending death breathing down my neck.
Yeah, right? You're killing them! So, but what I was going to want to get back at is that it's awful when you're with, like I was fooling around with a girl a few years back who was a horrible singer. But unfortunately she loved to sing and thought she could sing. And there are people, and I'm a comedian, but I also sing, I sing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is somebody who thinks they're funny when they're not, and somebody who can't sing and can't hear that they can't sing and thinks they could sing. So this person was like a karaoke singer, and if you know what I mean, like there are people who sing karaoke who most of them can't sing for real, but they could sing. Yeah. They can imitate somebody a little bit when they do karaoke.
Yeah.
And it's like you could tell they're bad because when they're holding the mic, they care more about looking like they're singing, like
exactly.
All that shit. And there's also karaoke comedians who are not good comedians, but they know how to kind of sound like somebody else.
Yeah. They have the inflections, and they're kind of cartoon characters, like.
And you could sometimes.
Like Sebastian.
I'm sorry.
Like Sebastian Maniscalco.
Okay. Well, he's successful. I'm talking about even people like maybe more like we know in our little bubble there in Long Island, because I was going to say there's plenty of people who, and also like they're faking their point of view, especially now with the politics. There's a lot of people who don't care that much about politics, but and
sometimes like initials before their last name.
Well, you're talking about
what you're throwing down.
You're talking about the guy who's the head of my fan club, Mr. B.S. Flinch of Hempstead, Long Island?
Yeah, B.S. Flinch, the local fatso.
Yes, that's right. He's a very struggling comedian, very successful molester, and local fatso. Right. Yes. Well, he's a perfect example. Like his material, I know him, so I know he doesn't really care about politics that much. He cares about himself only.
Yeah.
But he knows that if he says something anti-Trump, everybody who agrees with him is going to like his posts on Facebook or something like that, And so that becomes sort of a way he gets people's attention and get people to like him. And unfortunately, the political climate was such in the last few years that if you shared somebody's political bias, they thought you were more talented than you were. They thought you were better than you were.
Absolutely. And this is all hypothetical. This is a hypothetical person, I'm sure we're talking about. But,
I'm talking about Mr. B.S. Flinch, Hempstead, Long Island, local fatso, successful investor, very struggling comedian. I know his material.
Well, that's how I want to be brought up on stage every time. Local fatso, very struggling comedian. I'm not as good a molester as him, though. He is like a rape artist.
Yeah, right. That's right.
I would say. Not just a rapist, a rape artist. Like he's, but yeah.
But in his defense, when he was grabbing that sleeping lady, he thought she had ketchup in her bra. The man loves ketchup
because he's fat.
Exactly. Hey. Now you understand.
I'm right there with you. See, I'm fat and I love ketchup, but I like to ask people that are awake if I could have their ketchup.
You might like ketchup, but you also like consent.
Yeah, exactly. Ketchup and consent. That's going to be the name of my first comedy album, Ketchup and Consent.
And then in parentheses, in that order. Yeah.
I take the ketchup and then I ask for consent.
There you go. The only thing I'm squeezing is your ketchup. But, right. I don't care for fake outrage.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's so outraged. And the thing is this, I'm really not a political person. My comedy really isn't political or even contemporaneous, or topical. But people thought because I wouldn't say I hated Trump and because I was thoroughly entertained and delighted by him, they thought that was a wholehearted endorsement, and therefore I was a Nazi bastard. I was a horrible person, But to this day, I'll tell you, I think he's one of the funniest people I've ever seen in any public.
Absolutely. I would look forward to his speeches because I know, even if I don't agree with all the shit he's saying, it's gonna be funny. He's gonna drop some funny fucking lines. And he's going to roast people that I don't like.
My favorite thing that he said, there's two things that I love I love when he used to talk about Maxine Waters and he would just go, Maxine Waters, very low IQ.
Exactly. I loved when he called people beauties. That's my favorite thing. Oh, there's a beauty.
But and then my favorite when I really started liking him was when he was running in the primaries in 2015 before the election. And the Pope said something bad about, or the Pope criticized his something about him. And at the time, Trump gave 1 million press conferences before he did his rallies, and the press loved him because he was making fun of other Republicans in the primaries. They loved him when he was tearing apart Ted Cruz or Jeb Bush. Okay, so when he would have these press conferences right before his big rallies, he didn't know the Pope said anything about him. He said, "Did you hear that the Pope said something about you?" And Trump goes, "Really? I hope it's nice, because if it's nice, I like the Pope. If it's not nice, I don't like the Pope." I said, exactly. Did he just say that? I was like, that's great.
No. Exactly. That started the love affair. I remember exactly when he said that. That started my love. And it is. It's just, it's not that I love Trump. I hate people like Nancy Pelosi more than I like Trump, but he just shits on them and he pushes their buttons and makes them look so stupid. And I hate those people. I hate Republicans and I hate liberal Democrats.
Absolutely. And what he did basically is in his bullshit, he exposed everybody for being full of shit. And that's what was always great about it. I mean, think about the hypocrisy of everything that went on. When he won the first election, everybody on the other side said there was fraud, there was cheating, another country did it. Now, exactly. This time around, it's like there's no such thing as fraud. There's no such thing as cheating. No other country could possibly interfere.
These elections are watertight. You can't interfere.
Are you kidding me? This is better than eeny, meeny, miny, or mo. Yeah. But that was always great. And what happened was, and I think on both sides, really, like I wouldn't want to be somebody who all my material was loving Trump either. But the idea of the people who like Trump, I think like Trump because of the reasons we're talking about. And then the people who hated him were self-righteous. I mean, most of the people I knew, I think you and I might have talked about this one time through Facebook Messenger. I said most of the people I knew in my personal life who overtly expressed disdain and hatred for Trump were the most amoral people in their personal lives. Like they were liars, they were adulterers, they were cheaters, they were criminals that got away with stuff. They were slumlords, racists, and I'd be like, "You're the same dude, except he became president."
Exactly, but it's also, he did what he did before he was a president, and he wasn't president then. He was a real estate mogul, so he cut corners and he cheated people out of money. I don't think that's great, but you know what? He did it legally and made his bucks off doing that. And then when he became president, he did the right thing for America, I feel. And by doing that, he exposed, like you said, the immoral people that just hate him, because what he is doing, he's just really shining a light on them.
We're talking about male feminists, which is an oxymoron. I love this bullshit when you see a guy go, "I think women are the smartest people in the world, and I think women are better than men." I go, "You're just trying to get laid. You're just
That's it." Listen, I'm friends with so many of these guys, like on Facebook and personally, that you see them on Facebook. Oh, I feel for women and the way that they have to live every day, being judged and looked at, and then they'll private message me some of the most atrocious, disgusting, perverted shit that you'll ever see, and it's like, come on, you're putting on a thing because now all the women are like, "Oh my God, Doug loves women and he's such a nice guy and I can feel comfortable with him," but he's a depraved fucking pervert.
Yeah, I mean, look, whenever I hear somebody say that, like I said, I think they're just trying to get laid. Like I've done that too. I've told, how many times I pretended to be a Tori Amos fan? Oh, I'm into Tori Amos. Yeah. Oh, Tori Amos is great.
Fair, damn it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love Tori Amos. Yeah. Sarah McLachlan's great. Fucking shit. Suck it. As long as you suck it, I like Tori Amos. But there's a lot of crap like that. I hate the disingenuousness of that because not that they're trying to play that game, because okay, you want to play that game, but don't call me a shit. Don't fag out on me, man, and like publicly go, you are being inappropriate and everything like that. I'm like, what? I'll kick your ass. What are you talking about? You know, like, what are you trying to pull with me? You know, like I did a whole show that the last episode that's out about trigger warnings and stuff like that, and I did a whole thing about how I don't believe the allegations against Woody Allen.
Yeah.
I don't, and there are people who don't like that you say that. If you say that, you're a horrible human being. I said, look, I believe in you know, when there are real people like Epstein and Weinstein and all the Steens, they did it.
All the Steens did it. Yeah.
All the Steens did it, but I don't think Woody Allen did what they said.
And fucking your kids, yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, and I was also saying with the Mia Farrow thing was, it's funny how Mia Farrow wants to accuse, you know, Woody of that, but she readily defends her former director, Roman Polanski, who is a charged rapist, who's been charged
rapist that fled the country. You're exactly right.
And readily admitted that she continued to have an affair with Sinatra, and that their son might really be Sinatra's son. And Sinatra, I'm a huge Sinatra fan, as you could probably tell, but the man was horrible to women.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he was. I would say he was a rascal.
Yeah, but I mean, if you really read up on Sinatra, he even smacked some women around. Yeah. You know, he did things like that. But when he did, he was like, shooby dooby doo, shooby dooby,
like a gentleman,
like a gentleman does.
Domestic violence, gentleman. God damn it.
Yeah, man. So did you?
No, you're exactly right.
How long? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. The Woody Allen thing, I don't know it really, but people would attack you for saying that you don't really believe that the allegations. That's how I was getting attacked when I would say I didn't agree with the allegations against Brett Kavanaugh, and now I'm a bad guy. Now I'm a woman hater, and I think that women deserve to be raped. No, I just don't believe this woman that's accusing Brett Kavanaugh of this fucking, you know.
Yes, and now there's like this slow walk to accuse Cuomo, because everybody on the other side is going slowly. It looks like it's going towards that. You know, I always said Cuomo was a jerk off.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that was before I ever knew any of those things.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? The things he was saying, not that bad. I mean, the things, you know, he's a single guy. He's everything sounded consensual. He's inappropriate, and he's in a position of power. I understand that, but still, he's a human being,
right?
And
I think the biggest problem is that he says those things, but his face looks like Vigo from Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He's a villain. He looks like a villain.
He looks just like Vigo. I'm pull up Vigo. That's Cuomo.
Yeah, he's got Vigo face.
He's got Vigo face. Cuomo is the scourge of Carpathia.
That's right. Yeah, exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Great Goonan Podcast. I am the Great Goonan. I'm here with Mr. Mike Keegan.
Hey, thanks for having me, buddy.
All right, we'll see you next time. Aaron Gobralis. Peace.
Hey, Mia Falcher.
You're sick in the head.